What's up, Honor? So about a week ago, Spirit Halloween added some new professional animatronics from Beastcraft to their website. There was, of course, 3 different ones they added, known as the Dead Seed, the Creeper, and Red Death. And today I want to take some time to check out these animatronics because overall they look really cool, and it's always interesting to see some more professional animatronics up on Spirit's website. So anyways, with that said, let's get started. Alright, so quickly before we get into talk about each of these animatronics individually, just quickly want to mention about sort of the history of Beastcraft selling stuff at Spirit Halloween. So to my knowledge, Spirit Halloween has never really worked with Beastcraft up until last year, where of course we saw a couple of different props added to the website around mid-August. And it was interesting to see these come to Spirit's website because I believe at that time it had been a couple of years since we saw more professional stuff up on Spirit's website. But yeah, overall it's cool to see Spirit working with Beastcraft now, and since they have some new stuff up on the website this year, I assume that means in future years we'll probably see more stuff from Beastcraft sold from Spirit Halloween. But anyways, let's of course get right into checking out these 3 guys that were just released because overall they're really cool. So let's of course start off with the Dead Seed. Alright, look at this guy right here. He's pretty much just a pumpkin reaper man type animatronic, and overall there's some stuff I like about him, some stuff I don't like as much. Of course, I do really like the clothing design they went with. I like all the details with these sort of fall colored leaves just all over him here. Kind of looks like he just crawled up out of the ground or something, which is creepy. Then this creepy cloth too on him that has this green mossy color also looks awesome. So overall, great job on the clothing for this guy. Now, one thing that I will say that I don't like as much about him is that head design. I do appreciate how it's a more unique design they tried and went with, where it of course is this pumpkin, but then his jaw down there, they sort of went a little bit different way with it. Overall, it's just not something I personally like. I do kind of see how it's supposed to be more like a monster, but overall, I don't know, I just don't like it as much. And now just moving on to some other details about this guy. Of course, animation-wise, he doesn't feature anything too crazy. He pretty much just has the body turn-in side-to-side animation, which I do wish these animatronics would have had more animation, but for just how high quality this is, I don't think it matters that he doesn't have as much animation. And then of course, price wise for this guy is currently $890. This guy isn't on sale right now like some of the other Beastcraft guys, but overall $900 for a somewhat professional animatronic isn't too bad. So overall, this guy is an alright animatronic. Anyways, moving on, the next guy we got right here, which looks awesome, is of course the Red Death, which is pretty much just this skeleton reaper guy here. And this guy, even though he looks pretty cool and is a more professional animatronic, he still just kind of has that cheaper skeleton look to it. I don't really know what it is about him, but just doesn't really look like the best professional animatronic out there. Still though, I love that look of the red clothing draped all over him. It looks really creepy and just makes this normal skeleton prop just a whole lot better. Also, like, lots of detail that was put into this, like it has lots of rips all over it and definitely looks like it's a bit more beaten up and not really too nice looking, which is nice. And then the skeleton parts, even though like I mentioned, it does look a little bit cheap, I still like the design they went with. It's just your classic skeleton, but overall the mold for it does look pretty good. And then some other details about this guy. Of course, animation wise, he features head and arm animation, which isn't anything too crazy again, but I do like how that one arm is kind of like pointing with it and then he moves it back and forth. I think that's kind of nice. Then of course, price for this guy, he is regular $890, but he currently has a deal where it's $40 off, and you can of course get him now for $850, which is a pretty good deal. So overall, Red Death right here, a simpler animatronic, but still a very cool one. And now moving on to the last animatronic we got right here. This guy is my personal favorite. We've of course got the Creeper. And the Creeper here is pretty much this zombie ghoul looking prop, and overall I'm a big fan of this guy's design. Overall, the clothing on him, it's nothing too crazy. It's got most of this gray design, but I do kind of like that look of the upper part of him where it's sort of like this fabric that has this nice design put into it, and I think that looks great. But then of course his head is really the thing that is impressive about this guy. I love that look that they went with. It of course has kind of like the flesh taken out of it. It's a more mummified look, and I like how his mouth's just wide open there. You can see his teeth. Overall, it's just so creepy. Another thing too I really love about this guy is those hand designs. They're really big, and I kind of like the pose of them too. He has the one hand sort of held over you a bit with the one finger that's sort of pointing away. Overall, overall, just a ton of awesome stuff going for this guy. And yeah, just some other details about this guy. Of course, animation-wise, it's similar to Red Death. He just has the head and the arm animation there, which, again, is nothing too crazy, but I do think it somewhat works for this animatronic. And then, of course, pricing for him, it's $850 currently, regular $890, so currently you can save $40 on him, so pretty good deal for now. Anyways, with that said, everyone, that of course finishes it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoy. Overall, I think it's really cool that Spirit is selling Beastcraft animatronics again, and it does seem like they have fairly low quantities online. It would be cool one day to see a bunch of these just sold in store, but I assume that probably never really happened, but overall, it's still cool to see them on the website, and yeah, it's really fun to talk about them. Anyways, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment your thoughts down below on all three of these animatronics, and anyways, I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.